Screw it. All right. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the premiere of Wardens of Whitechapel, our World of Dark Chronicles, World of Darkness Meta Chronicles next game, which is set in Victorian London. We're incredibly excited to have you all hanging out with us tonight. I'm going to turn that off studio mode. I'm going to click that thing. I had to wipe my computer. Yesterday, and so I was on the road for work for like the last 4 days, and so I have not been able to get everything working again, and I cut this awesome new intro movie for this game's premiere today, and yet I cannot show it to you out of all sadness because apparently it doesn't want to work, but that's fine. We're here, we're live, and my name is Sean, also known as Throck, and I am your host and storyteller type person for the evening. We are here to play Mage the Awakening 2nd Edition. I think I said that. Thank you for the follow, Glass Spider. In 2nd Edition, which I think is my favorite version of Mage, all things considered. And yeah, so I'm a co-founder here. Welcome to the party. You can find me on multiple different nights. I'll be telling the story. But before any of that, I want to go around. I'll do intros, and then I'll do having to completely rebuild OBS in 10 minutes blew my brain up, which is a great way to start a new game. I will do announcements, and then we'll do intros, and then we'll just kick the game off. Okay, just 3 big announcements. First of all, love to our sponsors. No, the chat bot doesn't work, so don't click exclamation point anything. I'm still getting that fixed. Big thanks to our sponsors, So Nerdware, Devin Rue, Tabletop Loot. You can get amazing merch for this game. Well, not yet for this game, but the t-shirts are coming within the next week for Wardens of Whitechapel, but for a bunch of our other games at sonerdware.com, and if you use the code WELCOME, you can get 10% off your purchase. Also, check out our Patreon. It is our preferred way to support the channel. Shadina and K-Chan, thank you for the follow. Holy crap, you guys are amazing tonight. And Patreon's our preferred way to show monetary support because, frankly, we get more of the money, and all of that money goes to charity and also goes to fund artists and writers across the RPG community because we are trying to create PBS for RPGs here at Welcome to the Party by empowering great creators to do amazing things and then showcasing it. So, yeah, sweet. And then last but not least, join our Discord. It's amazing. It's awesome. We have like 450 people on there, and it's rocking and rolling all the time, and it's super fun. Okay, and with that, we're going to go around and introduce everyone. As this is our first game together, why don't you not just tell us who you are and your Twitter and all that, but also tell us all about your character. Give us the preamble, who your character is in the world. You know, things you are willing to share with others. Not your big secrets that you want to reveal later. But let's start with Kevin.
Hi, I'm Bisonic Kevin on the Twitters and Bisonic on the Discord. I'm playing the Mole. He is a Moros, a member of the Mysterium. Mysterium? There's a lot of M's.
You are, yes.
Mysterium. He also works as a surveyor in the city of London, mapping out the city and the sewer system for the improvements happening down there. And he is the edge tender of the group.
And what does an edge tender do?
The edge tender sees to the mystic health of the territory they cover.
Indeed. And the group, you'll find this out as the game goes by, but this is set in 1888 London. We're going to be starting in August. Our team is in Whitechapel, which is a fascinating. You have come across a new vape god. I'm the god of vape. So it has a fascinating history, and I'm a big history nerd. Spectral Roses, thank you for the follow. And so there's this whole dichotomy between rich and poor, and so our cabal has set itself up to be the tenders of Whitechapel at one of its most transitional periods in its history. So this should be amazing. Kay, you're next. You might be muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
I pressed a button and it did not want to work because I did not have the right window selected because that's my life. I am Kay or Undead Kay. I will be playing Kali. She is a Moros Silver Ladder mage, and she runs a clinic known as St. Bridget's in Whitechapel, right across the street essentially from the London School of Medicine Hospital. All that jazz is a big, lovely snuff in their face. So, yeah.
Sweet. I'm very excited. You were Kali. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who've never played Mage before, I think it's really funny. We have a Kali and a Jekyll, and shadow names matter and kind of warp who you are as a person as time goes by. So it'll be fascinating to see how the name Kali works out over time. Let's do Evan.
Hello, I am Evan, and Evan Jennings 64 on Twitter, and Zombie Love Juice on like everything else, Instagram and such. And I will be playing the Reverend. And the Reverend is a good man who is trying to do good things and is doing his best to help as many people in Whitechapel as humanly possible, or wizardly possible, magely possible.
You're still human.
Still human, I guess, technically. But he, instead of, being a simple man, he tends to solve problems with his fists if the need arises. So he is a rough reverend, if you will, but a reverend nonetheless.
A rough and tumble reverend.
A rough and tumble reverend.
Indeed.
But he is here to save Whitechapel and its people.
Are you trying to save them from themselves in perfectly British fashion?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Depends.
Okay.
I'll take whatever evil I can get to bring out and get rid of.
Excellent. And Bohemian Goth.
Hi, I'm Fallon, or Bohemian Goth on pretty much everything nowadays. I am playing Angosin. She is a Moros guardian of the Veil, and when not doing her regular magey goodness, she is a medium in Victorian London, so among the higher class occult circles.
Indeed. And that's going to be fun, I hope. And Death by Mage, last but certainly not least.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie, or better known as Death by Mage on the Twitters. And I will be playing Jekyll, a Mystigios Mysterium Mage. So this is going to be lots of fun. I'm basically a mind mage. It's going to be fun. When Jekyll's not being a mage, he is a psychologist. And he also works at the clinic as well. And he's also a cartomancer. And we will find out more about that as we play along.
Indeed. Excellent. I'm closing Steam Labs OBS. It was still up and it was just sitting there mocking me repeatedly. I clicked the button and it wouldn't go live. Like a million times. It was horrible. Anyways, okay, so back to this. Sorry, that was super frustrating. Okay, so just to give you all, before we jump right in, to give you, the viewers, and our characters here, a little bit of additional background. The Cabal has been together for about 6 months to a year. They're young in their career, but they're not neophytes. Together, they have already chosen their Cabal roles. They have already set up their dements, and they are actively tending to the community of Whitechapel. They have created a relationship map, which you have seen out of version 5. I've ported it back. I guess I've backwards ported it into this edition because I thought it was so good. And so they already have strong connections with each other and strong connections within the community as well. So I think, so just know that they're kind of already settled and they're not going to be meeting each other at the beginning of the game so much as we will be getting to them in situ, as they would say in haughty old London. We will be getting to them as they are in the moment. And with that, are we ready to start our Mage campaign?
Let's do it.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do some magic.
It is August 1888, and London is in the full sweat of summer. A pall of haze hangs languidly over the city as rich and poor alike seek any relief from the heat. This summer, the heart of empire beats with a languid pulse. London is nothing if not a place of contrasts. Great minds of the age mingle with dukes, kings, and robber barons, while just blocks away a pervasive and squalid expanse of tenement houses threatens to spill over into the more genteel neighborhoods. The Clinic of St. Bridget, your home and demesne, sits right on the edge of both worlds. Placed as it is on the bustling upper-middle-class Whitechapel Road, teeming with horse-drawn liveries, buses, shouting street merchants, and thousands going about their daily business. It is a place that feels alive with the spirit of the times. The place is a riot of sight, smell, and sound as a small brass band plays marching tunes just down the advertisement-splattered street, and urchins dodge between adults looking for a few extra coin. Over there is McTavish, the middle-aged Scottish man tasked with keeping the intersection clean of horse droppings, leaning on his brush talking to Miss Fordham, the young bright-eyed woman who just took over as headmistress at the local boarding school. You see a few folks you know heading into the Königsbrau, a German pub owned by the Fisher family. Gunter, the owner, barely speaks a lick of English, but what he lacks in fluency, he makes up for in enthusiasm. And there we see one of our Cabal members, Reverend, an Obermost member of the Adamantine Arrow, and as we zoom in on him, we see him walking arm in arm with a much older woman, dressed in a style decades gone. She seems to be having trouble walking on her own, but our Reverend is there to keep her upright and moving as she heads to St. Bridget's for her weekly cancer treatment. It's Monday, and every Monday afternoon, this is where she goes. Miss Havish, the woman in question, is normally quite gregarious despite her infirmity. She's a feisty old lady and normally complains about everything from the smell of traffic to the Queen to the way people dress today, but she's been strangely quiet. And so walking along, Reverend.
Miss Havish, I can't help but notice that you haven't complained about one thing on the way here. Is something wrong?
You noticed, huh?
I did.
Well, it's me grandson, you see. He's not been himself recently.
How do you mean?
Well, he's normally, he acts like me. He's quite a chip off the old block. He's gregarious, vibrant young child.
Ah, those are mighty fine words you're using to describe yourself, Miss Havish.
Yes, well, I know it can be a bit of a twist, but yes,
It's part of your charm.
Thank you. He's been very different ever since he started going to Harmony House, the boarding school up the way a bit. He every weekend when he comes home, he just seems much more quiet and reserved. He doesn't seem at all like himself.
You think maybe something's wrong? You think someone's bothering him?
Oh, well, I wonder if something's happening to him at the school, and I know you being a preacher, perhaps you and your friends could have a look.
Say no more, Miss Havish. I will go on to it as soon as I possibly can.
I would much appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Oh, what's a paddle? And I
thank you.
Help her across. I offer her my arm, as always, to aid her across the disgusting streets of London as they are.
Indeed.
Literally and figuratively filthy.
Yes. And as you cross the street, you hop across the puddle and help her over the little splotch of, you hope, is water. And
it's shit and piss.
It's shit and piss. It's probably shit and piss. Yeah.
It's shit and piss.
You find yourself in front of St. Bridget's Clinic. And as you enter, you see, I would imagine, Cully, it's your clinic. Why don't you describe the scene within your home and clinic to us?
The clinic's pretty warm, sterile, well, as sterile as one can be in Victorian era London. I like to keep things clean and inviting. There's some plants in the entryway, just wanting to have a nice, calm demeanor amongst, because, people are coming in and it's, various things, so.
You see your friend Reverend walking in with old Miss Havish, and it's her afternoon for treatment.
Hello there, Miss Havish. Time for treatment again?
Yes, darling. Thank you so much for seeing me this afternoon again. I've been feeling more tired recently, more run down, I think.
That's to be understood. Let's go back into the room and we'll get you set up.
Thank you, darling.
I want to squeeze Miss Havish's hand before she leaves, just like reassurance, and almost look at her and like silently say, like, you're gonna be all right.
She'll look up at you and smile. there's sadness in there because I think she knows she's not going to be okay in the end, but she also feels the comfort that you're trying to give her as well. She'll step back in the other room with you, and again, she seems not herself at all. You're used to working with her, Kali, and she's normally very talkative.
Miss Havish, what seems to be the trouble today? You seem to be a bit quieter than usual, I suppose.
It's my grandson, you see. He started going to Harmony House, which is it's a boarding school that opened up last semester, and his mother thought it would be a good place for him to go. But he's there during the week and with us on the weekends, and he used to be so vibrant and energetic, and now he's almost the opposite of that.
Oh, really? Does he have any symptoms, fever, or anything like that?
If not taking the piss out of his father as a symptom, then yes, he does have symptoms. He used to go play with the other children, and now he just sits there, and he'll stare at the fire, or he'll just kind of stare at his mother cooking. It's just very worrisome, and I'm worried it's making my health even worse.
That's to be understood. It's not a good thing for you to be stressing yourself out over these things. How about you go ahead and lay back and we'll get started?
All right. And so how do you, as she lays back, how do you go about assessing her physical situation? Like, do you choose to use magic, I guess is what I'm asking.
I would not in this instance. I would actually use my training as, having gone to school for this, simply because I don't want to potentially upset.
Absolutely. So go ahead and make me a, pulling up your character sheet real quick. Go ahead and make me a intelligence and medicine check. So if you haven't done that before in here, what you'll need to do is just click intelligence and then click medicine, and then you'll see the big red die in the upper left-hand corner. Click on that, or upper right-hand corner. Click on that. And it'll ask if there are any modifiers. There are not. And then it'll roll.
One second, it's not wanting to do the thing.
Did a little context dialog box come up that says modifiers? And it has 0. Oh, there you go. Oh, you made an amputation. Oh, I see what happened.
Whoa!
You
okay,
yeah.
Okay,
so
why?
That's one way to solve the cancer.
Just for everyone else, Kelly makes an amputation. Now you know what her weapon is. So I forgot. You need to click on sheet roll, and then it'll do the roll for you. And I just clicked on it for you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Upside.
Captain Old Lady. Good way to start.
Oh my God, you stabbed her.
No, she didn't. She missed. 0 success.
Yeah.
Believe me, she had it coming.
All right. You do get to give advantage of some kind, so it appears that not even my alerts are working right now, so I'll need someone to watch chat a little bit more closely for me and shout out when, hey, we got super awesome bits, because on this channel, if you get 500 bits, somebody gets advantage, and that'll be like an extra die or 2 on this. And
Jogan gave us some sort of green crystals.
He did. He gave us 1,000 bits, which is $10 in Twitch money, which is amazing. Thank you, Shogun. I love you. And so if you give $10, you get to, what I'm going to call that here is you get to give them the praxis roll. And what that means is they will crit on 3 successes instead of 5 successes. Plus they get the extra dice. So it's like uber chance to do amazing. And if you give more than that, you can DM me and we'll figure something awesome out, like the abyssal demon pops out of something. maybe.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But back to game. Thank you for the bits. So with 3 successes, you've been treating her for a while now, and you know her condition is steadily decreasing. She has cancer that's worked her way up through most of the trunk of her body and is slowly going to encompass her lungs. You can feel the mass as it moves its way up. But the thing is, given your knowledge of science, none of this should cause her to be none of this should cause her to be extra tired, or any more than she would have been when she was here last week. And as you begin to examine her, you realize she's been sleeping normally. She does seem a bit more lethargic when she speaks to you, though. And as you have this thing, you all have this thing called peripheral mage sense, which is the indication that there is some form of magic going on around you in some way. And that it's just kind of the twitch on like the tingle on the back of your neck, or if you're like Reverend, I would imagine it's like the taste of adrenaline in the back of your mouth or something like that, right? It's just a little bit of like there's something weird happening here. And Kali, you get that feeling, however it manifests for you. Not originally when you start looking at her, but as you start to focus on her a little bit and go through your regular routine of checking her out, you do get that something's funky.
All right. Yes. Miss Havish, if you don't mind me stepping out for a minute, I just want to go check on something real fast. If you don't mind, of course. Can't accent.
It's fine. Like, we're all going to be working on our accents for the next few weeks until they settle in. It's all right. Don't worry about it. But excellent. Another 500 from Shogun. Thank you, Shogun, for another 500. I'm going to see Zoom chat before I see Twitch chat right now. I apologize. So you step out as she kind of lays back, looking a little bit more worried because that's not something you've done before. And you step out of the room.
All right. As soon as I step out of the room, I'm going to... I'm assuming, is the Reverend still standing there? I
would be probably immediately going to whoever might need help next. Is there someone that looks like they're having a hard time walking? Is there someone that needs water? Anything. He doesn't know any... He is actually decent medicine, but I'm looking to help out any way that I can. But if she needs me, then I'll be there.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that, like, you're helping people get water, you're making sure they're comfortable as they're waiting, or working with the nurses, you're providing a kind word to people, things like that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just going to kind of step away from the room where Miss Havish is sitting and approach the Reverend, but keep my distance away from the patients and just kind of motion him. Come here.
I excuse myself. Make my way over. What you need?
Has Miss Havish seemed off today at all?
Yeah, she did. I was talking to her outside. She was saying something about her grandson. That he's feeling a little bit out of the weather. Something might be wrong. I'm thinking maybe he's being bullied or something of that nature. So I was thinking that maybe I could go take a walk over to that school, see what's going on.
But did you feel anything?
No. What do you mean? Do you mean like stuff?
Just nod silently.
Well, what do you think we should do?
I think we need to speak with the others, but perhaps we need to pay the school a visit.
All right. You want me to go let them know so you can keep doing your stuff?
If you don't mind, sir.
All right, no problem. I'll be back. And I go look for the others to try to let them know.
We'll start with Anguson. What would you be doing right now? It's midday on a Monday.
Well, one, she probably hasn't been awake for very long. But I would imagine she's had breakfast by now and is likely in the library as she is the lore keeper.
All right. I knock on the door. Angerson? You in there?
Yes?
We've got what could be the startings of a problem. Miss Avish, it seems that she might have some sort of mysticism about her. We're not exactly sure what it is, but maybe if you could come down, have a chat, maybe take a look. Maybe you'll be able to see something that we can't.
All right, I'll be there momentarily. Let me put away the books.
All right, and have you heard anything weird about the that school? What was it called again, Throck? The what school?
It was called Harmony House.
The Harmony House. You heard about the Harmony House at all?
No, I believe it's fairly new. So I haven't had any word on the street about it as yet.
Right. Maybe the mole will know something. He's always thinking about weird things. All right. I'm gonna go get the others. All right.
All right, I'll meet you there.
While we're focused on Agassiz for a moment, tell us what you look like.
So she is somewhat tall for the time, as far as being a female goes. Dark red hair, very curly. She keeps it pretty well tamed, but it's very Irish. Very Irish. Bright green eyes, pale complexion. Usually wears black or at the lightest kind of a pearl gray color. Almost always looks like she's in mourning for something.
Excellent. All right, so Agassiz begins to head her way down. Reverend, you were going to round up the rest of the troops.
Yes.
I know I'm kind of I'm kind of over-narrating this for you, but I just want to get an intro from everyone, and this feels like a good way to do it as the gang comes together. Okay. You mentioned the mole next, so let's go find the mole.
All right.
Hello.
Where would the mole be?
I would be down in my basement. I'd be down in the lowest level, probably doing something, but without any lights on.
All right, then I start heading down to the creepy basement that we have.
The murder basement.
The murder basement, the mole basement, and I head down there. And is there like a door?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It is a very thick door with my symbol on it, which is a triangle pointed down with an eye in the middle.
I knock lightly.
Yes.
Mo, it's the Reverend. We've got maybe a bit of a situation upstairs. We could use you. It seems Miss Havish has some sort of spookiness going on, and we're not exactly sure what it is. Could you come up and take a look?
Why?
Got me there. Well, because it would be a nice thing to do, because Miss Havish is a nice person, and if she's got some sort of spooks on her, who knows what it might be.
I open up the door and my head comes out. I'm bald and shaven. I look exactly like this. Except there is literally no lights on behind me.
Yeah.
And all right. Have you looked at it?
You mean Miss Havish?
I mean the spell.
No, I'm not even sure what it is. I didn't notice it.
Yes, I'll be right
Right. Just talk to Collie while you're up there. She's the one looking at her.
Thank you,
What are
Reverend.
you working on in there? And I try to peek around.
Maps.
In the dark.
Yes.
All right, bye. I turn around and leave. I leave quickly up the stairs because the mole is spooky.
And then the last person you go find is Jekyll. Where would Jekyll be hiding right now?
Jekyll will most likely be in
Minus
his
5 points.
will most likely be in his office, and the door will be half open.
Doctor.
Yes.
Well, and I turn around and I shut the door. we might have a bit of a problem. It's Miss Avish. She might have some sort of magic going on. And we're not exactly sure what it is, and it might have something to do with her grandson and with the school he's been going to. You know anything about this Harmony School?
I do not think I have heard anything of the sort.
All right. Well,
You all have your pulse to the neighborhood and know that boarding schools open up occasionally.
Mhm.
You heard in passing back at the beginning of the last school semester, which would have been like May, that a new school had opened up. And it was accepting students from the neighborhood, and some of them on a prorated basis.
all right. Do you think maybe you could come down and
Yes,
take a
no,
look?
certainly. She has suffered quite a lot through her treatments. I imagine she has gone through many trials. I have no problem looking over her.
All right. What does Jekyll look like?
Jekyll is a lanky man with raven black hair and blue eyes, and he's usually wearing a suit, or he's wearing a white dress shirt with a vest.
Excellent. So you all begin to make your way downstairs, and I would like you each to look at the first page of your character sheet. On the bottom right hand, there's a thing called beats. Everybody give yourself a beat for introducing your characters to the campaign. I'm going to be a little bit liberal until I figure out what a good balance is for beats. And so, being that you all did lovely intros, we're going to give you each your first experience beat. 5 experience beats equals 1 experience point. It doesn't have arcane beats, which is a bummer, but that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
All now gathered on the first floor of St. Bridget's Clinic as a mystical weirdness has popped into your otherwise run-a-day business here in the east side of London.
Are we all in the room with Miss Havish then?
I figure you're outside, right? Unless you all want to be staring over her like 5 really creepy mages. What is this magical mystery? Yeah, no,
I will
figure,
definitely freak her out. All right. Well, so what you all figure out?
I don't really know. I just felt something when I was examining her.
What does Kali look like? Wait, do we know what Kali looks like? Did I miss that?
Give us a Kali.
Okay. She is about 5'5", a bit skinny. When she's working in her clinic, she actually typically dresses in a suit. Get it. Simply because it's difficult to perform tasks needed when you're restricted by your clothing. So, suit's more practical. She's got long red hair, and it's currently pulled into a bun behind her, and bright green eyes.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's fair to say you have a meeting room or something, and you're not just standing out amongst all the patients and nurses and other, maybe there's another doctor or two who works there. I guess that'd be up to Kali. But there's a room that you perhaps would meet in?
I'd say Kali would have a small office of sorts.
I think
just
that makes
kind
a lot
of pull
sense.
everyone in.
Full of medical books and a big oak desk, a window.
Oh,
looking
yeah,
in.
definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Then, what you all think we should do? Go check out the school, or should we go talk to the boy?
Did you use your mage sight on the woman?
No. Well, I walked her into the office. What was I supposed to do? It's just Miss Hamish. It's not like she's a wizard. This is what I see her every day. What are you talking about?
Kali, did you use your mage sight on Miss Havish?
Not fully, no.
What is her condition?
She just seems to be... Well, you know, Miss Havish, she's usually more...
Lively.
Exactly. She seems a bit lethargic,
Hmm.
which is unusual for her circumstances.
Throck, would
Yo.
Jekyll know of any kind of mind arcana that could do such a thing?
That could make people sleepy? Yes. In fact, you can absolutely make people sleepy with mind magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, if you all sense that there was some mystical play involved, I think it's time I gave a look.
At what?
Miss Havish.
All right.
It'd be kind of weird if we all went in there.
I'm not going in there.
I will go. It should be safe.
He is a doctor. Kind of. I think. Are you a doctor?
Yes, I am a doctor.
All right. He's a doctor. He's all right.
I'm glad I have your approval.
It is comforting.
All right, well, go ahead and come on. We can't let her wait forever.
Yes. Kali, do you wish to oversee the visitation?
I suppose it might make her more comfortable.
Of course.
I would appreciate it.
All right, so I would imagine then you head into the examination room.
Yes.
It is that creepy sort of Victorian white tile place that is standard operating procedure for the day, where it's just like white tile from ceiling to floor, because that's how you get the blood out easy. And sitting on a gurney, kind of laying back, just kind of, and she'll huddle them up, go, hello, hello, Kali, or not Kali, what would she call you, Dr. what?
Gallagher.
Oh, hello, Dr. Gallagher, who is that with you?
No.
I'll just kind of wordlessly.
Dr. Alexander Quincy Fitzgerald III, my dear.
It's a large name you have.
Yes, I'm quite well aware.
You've never brought anyone else in before. What's going on?
Well, my colleague here expressed that you seemed lethargic, and I expressed interest and concern for your well-being, if that is all right.
Oh, yes, I didn't know that you had additional sorts of colleagues here, Dr. Gallagher, but okay. She seems nervous.
Okay. Jekyll's gonna gently sit, kind of pull up a chair, sit close by Mrs. Havish and kind of try to be comforting to her. So I heard from Dr. Gallagher that you've been worried about your grandson. Is this correct?
Yes, he's been very odd recently. And she will recite the same story to you about Harmony House and how every weekend when he came back, it seemed like he got a little bit lower energy, and now he just kind of is a lump.
I see.
But he follows orders very well.
Indeed. Well, I guess there is some merits to this, but I want you to be assured that for the most part, I'm sure whatever is happening, either the Reverend or someone here will gladly look into it for your grandson. We want the best for your grandson and for yourself.
I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I can't get over that myself too easily.
Right. Well, I believe you do deserve some rest and some bed rest as well. You seem rather tired.
I'm very tired recently. I just assumed it was the illness.
Yes, that is a probability. Throck, Jekyll's probably going to open his mage site at this point.
Do it. So I've been reading up on mage site because I imagine that is the thing we are all going to use lots of. All right, so there are 3 versions of Mage Sight: peripheral, which is your spidey senses; active, which is your focus; and then active, which is like I have unshielded my eyes and I am now looking at the world through the arcana. And then there is focused, which kind of allows you to dig deeper into a single thing.
Right. So for the moment, I just want to unveil my eyes to.
And you have death is your main. No, what's your ruling arcana?
My ruling arcana is mind.
And what?
Mind and space.
Mind and space. Interesting. Okay.
I see connections.
Yes. So, can you roll? I'm gonna need you to roll because there's the minute you unveil, you get this. You ever get like the feeling of spiders crawling up the side of you really quick or something?
Yeah,
like that?
it's you get that skin crawling sensation.
For a moment, just kind of in the back of your head, you feel that exactly, and this tug away from her as if something's being drawn out to elsewhere, and that elsewhere is not far. It's within the area that you have been practicing, somewhere to the north of here, maybe only 7 or 8 blocks, but it's hard to get a pin on without digging deeper. But there's something definitely there that is affecting her mind in some way, is connected to something else. And I don't think spirit, I'm looking at your others, you have fate and spirit. With fate, because the way it works with focus is you get your 2 that you have, and then I think you have to spend a mana if you want to open up to spirit and fate.
Okay. I don't mind spending the mana. Okay.
Has no cost to add any 3rd ruling arcanum and costs 1 point of mana per scene to include, but there's only 2. Wait, how do you get a 3rd ruling arcanum?
You only get 1 when you start and then can add the 2nd one for free?
No, it says it automatically uses the Mage's 2 Path ruling arcana, has no cost to add any 3rd ruling arcana, and costs 1 point of mana per scene to include a common or inferior arcanum.
That's weird.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to say it costs 1 mana per scene per additional arcana you want to use.
I would assume that's just if he wanted to try to use other ones depending on the situation. Yeah. Like if the situation was bizarre enough that he'd be like, and I also have to use my other magic. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like whatever thing you're looking for, it might have to do. I don't know.
Okay.
That sounds like that might be what that's for.
I think it's a typo.
It's probably a typo. Yeah.
Probably a typo. It happens.
Yeah.
I don't mind spending the mana to open up so I can use spirit to look in.
Okay. Interestingly, spirit, she is not the only thing here. There's something diminutive, almost to the point of nothing. It's very small, but it has potentiality to it. And you don't get much more than that because you can't actually see through physical objects with the 2nd level of Mage Sight. So you're not peering into her in any way. You are looking at her magical being, and there's something else very small there.
Tell me, Miss Havish, when did you start feeling this lethargic sensation?
It was well, really, it was 2 weeks ago, I think. But really, it came on yesterday evening.
Oh, that's very peculiar. Well, and Jekyll's going to look over at Callie. I think Miss Havish is going to definitely need some immediate bed rest. Dr. Gallagher.
I agree. Miss Havish, did you need to stay here for the night, or do you think you can get home?
I'd really prefer to get home. If I'm going to be bed rest anyway, I'd rather be with my daughter.
Completely understandable. Well, why don't you go ahead and have the Reverend take you back?
Okay.
Move it!
Is there anything I can take to make myself feel a bit more energetic, get my pep back?
Yes, I'm sure I can make you a swift tonic to energize you.
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Mhm.
I was going to buy a tonic to help with my knees. Perhaps you could tell me whether or not it is worthwhile. It is Dr. Dalewood's.
Don't.
M-
Don't. You
What?
can't just do that.
It's in the
No,
game.
you
It's
can't.
absolutely canon.
You son of a bitch.
I knew it. I knew it.
Dishonor on your family, dishonor on your cow.
It's the line talk so everyone in chat in the stream can understand what we're going to be upset about.
I'm looking for the full name I gave it. Dr. Dalewood's Medicinal Marginal Spread. It's apparently made up of some oils.
You're rubbing fake butter on your skin. What the fuck? Oh, this is Victorian times. They put leeches and shit on their eyes. I don't know. It's
Yes.
medicine.
Yes, they put leeches.
Medicine for your health.
Yes, and yes, lots of opium. Dr. Deerwood, Dr. Gallagher, what is your professional opinion on Dr. Deerwood's marginal spread?
You don't want to know.
Oh,
Honestly, I prefer things like honey and cider.
all right. I will try that instead.
Jekyll whips up a tonic with honey and apple cider, lemon juice, cinnamon, and some tonic water.
All right. Thank you. Do you want to actually make a medicine check on that? I feel like you're
Sure.
a practice. Do you have the professional merit?
No, I do not.
Okay, then let's do the roll.
Okay.
If you have the
So-
professional merit, I'd let you get away with it for free. It's just
Okay.
going to be intelligence plus medicine. You know what? It's going to be dexterity plus medicine because you're making something.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
This hopefully I don't poison her.
No additional dice.
No additional dice.
No.
I didn't think so. Oh,
No,
there we
it's
go.
great. It's good. Yeah, it tastes like exactly what you wanted it to taste like and has marginal medicinal properties, except not margarine medicinal properties. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
gonna
for
be
this,
done.
you're going to hell.
I know.
Only,
I'm going to find a way to make it into the vampire
only
game
for
as well.
making butter, stupid butter in every game you make.
I swear to God, it's just gonna be the Berlin game. Is just gonna be rations of butter of margarine.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, margarine, not butter. Margarine.
Yes, it is time for your
Thank
butter
you,
rations.
Lady Beth.
You've got to smuggle the margarine into East Berlin.
Okay. Sorry.
That's a
Yeah. And with that, Miss Havish will leave.
Am I walking her home?
That's up to you all.
Well, the whole reason is because if I got near her house and entered her house, I was going to like boom and like mage sight
Yeah.
and try to check that out, because if she's been feeling ill and it's when this kid comes home,
For sure.
you know,
Yeah,
could be
100%.
following them, I don't know.
Yeah,
What's up?
I said 100%. Let's do this. Let's say you start walking Miss Havish home, and while that happens, the other four of you convene, right?
Mm.
And so we'll do the four of you, and then we'll do you, Reverend.
After Miss Havish leaves, Jekyll gestures for Mole and Angelson to enter the room. There was something. I definitely saw something.
Was it a spell? What was it?
It was
It
not a
looked-
spell.
No.
You
it
know
was not a
instinctively it was not a spell. Yeah.
It was what I would consider potential. The potential for something to grow and feed and fester,
It's eggs.
essentially.
Bad eggs. All right.
And
Do you
it's-
think it could be coming from the boy, lingering?
it's very possible. But but perhaps the boy is nothing but a carrier.
Infect the boy, infect the rest of the family.
Correct. Though I just realized that we let the Reverend walk into a potential nest.
Okay.
Y'allsies.
I'll try to catch up to him.
I'm sure he'll survive.
He is the scrappy one.
Someone look into the school. I'm going to try to catch up with the. I'm going to try to catch up with the Reverend.
Yes, but just be mindful. Whatever is there, I couldn't completely see it, so
What?
I do not know how aware it was of my sight, and it's very small.
Well, you said it was very small and potential, and it didn't react to you very much.
No, but caution would still be advised.
Well, all right. I'll be careful too. All right, thank you. If you find anything, write it down.
Right.
And
I shall go with you, Mole. I would like to see what may or may not be going on here.
all right. After you. And he holds the door open for you.
She'll nod and leave. And as soon as she gets outdoors, she'll open up her little black lace parasol because, sunlight bad.
Yeah, sunlight very bad. It's more of a haze, right? Because it's summer in second industrial revolution London, and so there's blue up there somewhere, but it's mostly yellow. You look at it's hazy, especially over here on the east side. You're maybe 5 blocks from the docks here, and so there's lots of smoke coming from steamships coming in and out, and of course, just maybe 10 blocks over, there's like a gas refinery because you could do that in the Victorian age. Just have that right downtown. Super great. Yeah, very healthy.
Industry.
Yeah, industry.
Like lungs.
So if I understand what's happening, Mole and Anguson are going to be chasing after the Reverend. Collie and Jekyll are going to the school. Is that right? Or Collie and Jekyll hanging out talking?
What do you think? Should we close up shop early?
I think it's wise. Take a look around and survey the school. It sounds suspicious. It's also equally suspicious that these symptoms just emerged very rapidly. So
Maybe
let's take
safer during the day anyway.
Very true. Let's take a look. I'd rather we be in the open so we don't draw too much suspicion.
Okay, so let's do the Mole and Anguson catching up to the Reverend, and then do Kali and Jekyll. So Mole and Anguson, are you going to go right up to them, or are you going to kind of follow behind, or what's your plan?
I'm going to travel the distance. I don't want to talk to this old woman.
I love you so much.
Are we sure we don't want to scare the old lady even further? Why not?
Not right now.
Anguson, are you going to follow Mole's lead, or are you going to catch up and be...
I will actually catch up.
All right.
I'm not afraid to talk to the old lady.
Coming up quickly behind you, Reverend, is Anguson.
I'm sorry, I thought you were going to do their thing and then their thing and then come. Okay.
Yeah, I did their thing. Their thing was catching up to you, which I let them do because it's more
apologies.
narratively appropriate than letting you get there by yourself.
I wanted to eat a star first. So with Anguson approaching, at first Reverend was relaxed and he gets a little bit tense. Anguson, I didn't know you were coming.
Oh, what an odd name you have. Where's that from?
It's just a nickname. My name is Irene. Please, Miss Savish.
Oh, it's nice to meet you, Irene.
You as well. I heard you were having some troubles, and I'd like to see if I could possibly help.
Oh, are you a medical expert as well?
Not in so many words, no. But I have my own areas of expertise.
All right.
We might take a look around your house, Miss Avish. make sure that there aren't any things within your home that might be making you more ill.
Oh, I see. That would
there
be
might
lovely.
be things in there. Exactly.
Could I make you a nice cup of tea while you're here?
Oh, I would
That
love
would be
that.
lovely.
It would be lovely.
Excellent. All right. And with that, you make it to their house. It's a simple 2-story brownstone. Or it's the first 2 floors of what is probably a 5-story house. So if you think about London during this time, just to give you a visual of what the city would be like, it's all of the buildings are connected for the most part. It is building, 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 alley, building, 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 alley, right? So there's not a lot of distance between things. Everything's up against it. And so people live on top of people, not in like a high-rise sort of way, but in a like, this family has the first 2 floors, this family has the second 2 floors, and maybe they share the kitchen, right? It's all a little bit more communal, a little bit more rough and tumble, but at the same time, there's this intense like weight of age. Like this building has probably been here for 200 years, right? Already in 1888, and so it's a simple brick building. Goes up 4 stories. She, with your help, Reverend, kind of hobbles up the stairs and lets in. And it's old and kind of tattered, but well kept inside. The carpet that leads through the central hallway, which is it's very narrow. Looks like it has been well loved and well kept, but is certainly being run down and like threadbare. And
Okay.
the paint was once beautiful, but is now a little bit chipped. Right? It's just a little bit run down. It's as if she just can't keep up with it by herself anymore.
I would like to, from the moment that we are on the front stoop to entering,
Yes.
I want to activate my stanky old wizard eyes and take a look at what I see around me.
All right. What are your ruling arcana?
Forces in Prime.
Okay, interesting.
Yes, I am an Oberamos.
Yes. Well, I knew that because they're my favorite. But yeah.
They're pretty awesome.
They're pretty awesome. Yes. So you're going for the second level, right? There's 3 levels. It's on all the time, and it just feels like Spidey senses. There's I'm focusing on the world around me, and then there's I'm honing in.
Focusing on the world around me because I don't know what to look for yet.
Okay.
So I'm more just wom like.
Yeah, interesting. Do you want to add another one of your spheres because it's Mage the Ascension? Do you want to add one of your Arcana to that as well, one of your other ones, to kind of add into the view?
All right, I have Forces in Prime.
Oh, you only have the 2.
Yep.
I love
but
it.
I'm at level 3 at both of them.
I love it. Okay, so
I'm very focused.
It's interesting. You like as this kind of mesh of energy comes over you, right? You feel the fire coming from the kitchen. You feel there's a few telegraph wires just outside, and you can feel them tingling across the back of your neck. You sense the life presence of folks around you, like they're the spark of their soul. The thing you get that is weird is on her there is a second spark. There's a second something. It is small. It is trying to keep itself hidden, but it's there.
Where is it? Is it within her or
Back of
around
her head.
her? Like within her hair?
It's hard to tell. Unless you focus. Because right now you're doing the broad spectrum scan, and you would have to boing.
Is she still like walking in front of me?
She is. She's kind of hobbling back to the kitchen.
Then I would like to focus.
All right. So to focus, you can do one of 2 things.
Yes.
First is you can do these in either order. There are 2 things you can either have. You can do revelation, which is instant, and when you first encounter this weird thing you just encountered, it will reveal some additional surface information about it, and it happens. You can just do it as an action. The second thing is scrutiny. Now, for this, you need to spend a point of willpower, and will take longer. Like you'd have to. It is an extended action, so you'd have to take some time, like digging through her brain magically, essentially.
Let's go with, because I feel like she's moving, we're going places, we're not in as safe of an environment as I'd like. I'm not going to do the scrutiny one. I'm just going to do the bam. What am I looking at?
Okay.
What am I dealing with?
So here's what you're going to do. You're going to click on Gnosis. You're going to click on either Forces or Prime.
All right, I click on Gnosis. is blue now.
It is blue now. And then click on either forces or prime.
I'll do prime.
All right. And so make sure up top in the dice roller, sheet roll and normal are highlighted.
Sheet roll and normal.
All right. And what does the roll say below the red die?
Intelligence, academics, prime.
Unclick intelligence, unclick academics.
Can't.
Okay. Interesting. So how many dots in intelligence do you have?
I have 2. I'm not very bright.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Unclick academics.
Okay, well.
Done? Worked?
Yeah, now it's just prime there. Okay, I see.
Okay, so we're
under the red die.
You're going to hit the red die, and you're going to add 1 additional die, because the formula is Gnosis plus highest arcana minus its sneaky bits. And it's pretty sneaky, so it's going to add a 2 die penalty to your roll. So you should be rolling a total of 4 dice.
I got 1 success.
1 success is enough.
All right, nice.
For a moment, you get this feeling of you've lived in squalor for a long time. You are a person who grew up in the shit. So you've seen spiders before. You've seen like a rat's nest before. You know what a world like. You know what the soul spark of a hive is, right? Like a hive-minded sort of thing, like a bunch of spiders or a bunch of bees or a bunch of rats all working together. That's connected to something else. It is part of some sort of hivey thing. It is out there somewhere, further away from us than but whatever that is, it's gonna grow or it's gonna replicate. It's hard to tell without like taking all of the time to like go the 1 step further and take the extra time to go in. These are the surface things you're getting, right? It's like it's gonna start popping off. There's gonna be more or bigger or something, and it's connected to something else that's kind of feeding it, or it is feeding it, like it's sending shit to
parasitic.
Yeah.
In a way. Okay. Oh, look at that. I forgot to take my shoes off. Irene, and I point for me and Irene to go over to the corner to take our shoes off. And I'm going to kind of get close to Irene and say, some kind of parasite on the back of her head. And it looks like it might be, I can tell it's part of some sort of other creature, like a hive mind. You know, like one thing is controlling that thing. So whatever we do, that's not the end problem. Whether that thing is attached to is bigger. But any ideas as to how to get that off of Miss Havisham without punching her in the back of the head? Or ripping some of her hair out? She's old. I would never hear the end of it.
Let's definitely not do that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Let me...
And I take my shoes off because they're muddy.
She does not take her shoes off because she's British.
Yes.
By way of Irish. But she's supposed to be a lady. Ladies do not take their shoes off.
Right.
I'm trying to think.
Do you think we need one of the other ones? Or do you think if we kill whatever's controlling that, would it kill that? That's what I'm thinking.
More than likely, yes. The source would be the best. Because killing this one is just killing this one. Who knows how many others are out there.
Right. And we don't know if it'll hurt Miss Havisham, removing it like that.
Indeed.
All right. Should we take a look around?
Yeah, go ahead.
At that, when you say that, Miss Havisham comes walking out with 2 saucers of tea. Mole, are you going to go in or are you...
Nope, I don't want to go in there. I'm going to stay outside on the street and I'm going to look around, kind of wander around the house with my surveying tools prominently displayed. So it looks like I'm looking at alleyways and whatnot. And I'm just going to assume there's none of that here. I'm trying to think which... Did you tell me that it was headed off to the north?
Yeah, like beyond where St. Bridget's is, yes.
Gotcha. And using my knowledge of the map of the city, and where the new, I'm assuming everyone mentioned the boarding house.
Yeah.
Where is the boarding house?
So let's take a look at our handy dandy map, which we will also share at some point on something. So essentially, you guys, your building, and I will shift click these for you, your building is on Whitechapel Road, which is the busiest road in the neighborhood. It's kind of at the corner of Whitechapel Road and Brady Street. And there's a brewery right there, right? And you can see there's a blue star on the map for those of you who can see the map. To go to Miss Havish's house, you came down south from the road, about 4 blocks, and ended up, right where you see that ping, which is in a very middle-class part of town. You're behind the London Hospital and the London Medical College. And so this is an area that has teachers who live here, has families who live here who are upper middle class working folk. You were told that the Harmony House was somewhere up in St. Andrew, essentially, which is the neighborhood, 2 neighborhoods above, like 2 baby neighborhoods, right? Not like Whitechapel and then whatever, Bethnal Green. It's, you guys are technically in St. Mary. Then there's Bartholomew, which is like 8 blocks. And then there's St. Andrews, which is like 5 or 6 blocks. And it's up in St. Andrews.
Okay, and that's where the boarding school is.
Yes, it's across the tracks. There's a big set of industrial tracks. It's not one of the part of the underground, which exists right now. So if you ever want to take it to go somewhere, you can take the underground. But it's coal trains come through there, industrial, like trains carrying industrial shit come through there. It's fucking noisy as crap.
Okay.
Sometimes I cuss just to cuss. I don't know. I know,
all right.
terrible.
I would like to cast a spell.
What spell would you like to cast?
I would like to cast the outward and inward eye.
Okay.
If all locations are 1, I can basically get a 3D map, isometric map of everything that would be within my normal perception.
Okay.
I can see what's happening behind me on the far side of a door beneath my feet.
Yes.
I cannot perceive things farther away than normal perceptions might allow, but I want to see if I can get a view using this spell of where Miss Havisham is.
All right. So you want to get a view of where Miss Havisham is, the elderly lady.
Yes, and then I want to use my mage sight to see if I can triangulate the line of the thing infecting her.
Okay, interesting. I like it. Yeah.
I'm basically using my map skills.
I love it. No, I think that's great. And a perfect use of magic, right, is to enhance your skills. So here's what we're going to do. So this is a rote. Yes?
For me, yes.
All right. So does it include any common or inferior mana?
It is common, but it being the rote does not cost me mana.
It does not. So that is free. Yeah. So you now get free reach equal to your Arcanum rating minus dots for your highest Arcanum spell plus 1.
It's a... Wait, what was that? I'm sorry.
So according to my notes, you get free reach, which empowers your spell, equal to your Arcanum rating, which is what?
1 in space.
1 in space. Minus dots of highest Arcanum in spell. 1. Plus 1. So you get 2 free reach.
Okay.
To make it bigger, do you want to empower it in some way? It starts as having to be cast as a ritual.
Yeah, so I need to make it instant using my first reach.
So you use 1 free reach to make it instant. Awesome.
It is targeting me, so I don't need to do anything about that.
You don't need to do anything there. Do you need to make it last longer than instant?
I could probably use it for a turn.
So you could do a turn. All right, so that's going to be minus 2 dice to your pool. This is the first time, by the way, that we're all casting spells together. So it's super exciting, but at the same time, we're going to go by it step by step so everyone learns. So first up, how many dice in your pool? Gnosis plus spell.
Gnosis plus spell would be 3 total.
1, 2, 3. All right, and then you're going to lose a die to make it last 1 turn, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to lose a die to make it last 1 turn. Awesome, we're down to 2 dice. You have 1 free reach remaining. its standard scale is everything you could normally see, but you can see through things, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't need to worry about that.
You can't see through darkness, but that's not a problem right now. I don't have my ring on, and that's not what I need it for.
Okay, yeah, so I think you're fine on 2 dice. Now we get bonus dice.
Can I?
Yes.
And how do I use rote skills as a yantra?
So you can use a number of dots of skill equal to your gnosis on a rote as bonus dice.
Okay.
So if you have like something academics surveying 3 dice, but you have a gnosis of 2, you get 2 bonus dice.
I have occult 3, and it suggests using occult.
Occult is fine, and you have what's your gnosis?
2, so I can get 2 from that.
So you get 2 bonus dice on that bad boy. All right. So you were down 1 die, added 2 die. You didn't get any extra reach, so I don't get to roll any paradox dice, which makes me sad.
To do more with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you will have 4 dice on this spell. So tell us how you cast. What is the flavor of your spell casting?
The flavor of this spell casting is I'm going to set up the like a surveyor's little telescope and has a tripod, and I'm going to set up the tripod in a triangle pattern, and on the muck and dirt in the ground where I set up the tripod, I'm going to inscribe sigils using the tripod to kind of like border them. It looks like I'm just like writing on the ground underneath the surveying equipment.
All right. I love it.
And, yeah. I will use the alchemical sign for dirt or for earth.
Is this a praxis?
It is not a praxis.
Okay. So you will get your rote qualities for this spell. So you are going to roll your 4 dice.
Okay.
And that is going to be the easiest way to do that on the character sheet to actually cast. I think is just to click on the spell and then make sure the dice pool is the right size.
Okay.
The
dice pool would be 3 here.
4, but it is a total of 4.
And add 1
modifier.
Mm-hmm. Not 10, 1. Gotcha.
Yep, so you'll have 4 dice. Boom.
No successes.
Yes.
I'm trying to think if there's anything I can do that would have augmented it further that I already
Technically, you could have spent a willpower to get 3 additional dice. So I'm going to go lenient on this for the first couple of games. Unlike other World of Darkness games, Chronicle of Darkness games, you have to spend the willpower first and add it to the pool. But because I love you.
Gotcha. Well, thank you.
If you would like to spend a willpower, and just go /R space 3d10, and we'll see if you get any successes. You got 1 success, which is all you need. All right. So as you cast your mind out, the world fades away and becomes essentially desaturated as you are able to see through walls and shapes and people. You are looking for Miss Havish, who is currently about to hand a saucer of tea to both Anguson and to Reverend.
All right. And then I'm going to activate my mage sight.
All right. Are you going to do the focus?
I'm going to focus, attempting to focus in on what I was told was there.
Okay. Roll for me your Gnosis plus your highest Arcana -2. Yeah. Total
Sorry,
wall
I
hack.
have to unclick some things. Normal. I also have Trained Observer. I don't think that counts.
That does not. That is for... excuse me. That counts for mundane things.
Gotcha. Gnosis Matter -2, you said. One success.
It's interesting. You were told when you were talking to Kali and Jekyll earlier, because you don't have the information for Reverend and Anguson yet, there was like one thing on the back of her. Like on her somewhere. You see 3, and 2 of them are crawling down her arms, looking like they're about to come and try and grab onto Reverend and Anguson. And they're definitely spiders. but they're very small. And as these two spiders look to attach themselves to Reverend and Anguson, that's where we're going to take our first break for the evening. I want to thank you all for hanging out with us today. This is crazy how many people are here. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the bits. We love you, and we also love our patrons, which is why during every break we thank our patrons. If you want to become a patron, that would be amazing. You don't have to. We just love that you're here hanging out. So we're going to go to break so we can get water and do the bio thingies and all that sort of fun stuff. But we love you. Thank you for hanging.
Are you about to curse me with spiders?
I'm going to curse you with.
Are you about to
spiders?
infect me with spiders?
Spiders! Yes.
I was being so nice to her.
I know. She's a
Whatever your
lovely human.
arachnophobe wants.
All right. With that, we'll be right back. Thank you for the raid, Nerdlopedia. We're going to be back in just a second. All right, here we come. We're on our way back. And we're back with the second half of tonight's premiere episode of Wardens of Whitechapel, our Mage of the Awakening 2nd Edition Chronicles of Darkness campaign set in Victorian London. There, I nearly got it all out in one breath, but then I skipped over it. It's whatever. Fine. We meet 3 of our Cabal members in a upper middle class neighborhood of Whitechapel. In 2 of them inside a relatively rundown house of a dear friend of the clinic that they all run, Miss Havish. And one of them outside who just cast a spell to be able to perceive beyond walls and see beyond space itself. And he noticed that Miss Havish, as she was handing a cup of tea to the Reverend and Anguson, 2 spiders not visible in the physical world, small, blue with almost black smoke coming off of them, are crawling down her arms and making their way to Reverend and Anguson. And Mole, in the break, you said it sounded like you might have something you want to do.
I did, but then I just remembered I have a ghost.
Yes, sir. I've decided that your ghost is not going to have an American accent. I feel like he's your Batman, right? Like he's very, very classically like, you are my officer, and so I follow you around to do what you need me to do.
I was hoping for a Christian Bale.
But he's his
accent.
Alfred, not his Batman, right?
Yes.
I'll just... Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, different Batman.
Alfred
this
is
Batman likes to follow you around.
Ironically, Alfred is a Batman.
Huh.
Okay. Is that Alfred Batman, his full name? It's on his birth certificate.
Alfred J. Batman. Yeah. Indeed.
I'll be like, yeah. So I'll look up and go, Davis,
What?
T,
Yes,
knock
sir.
it to the ground.
What?
Knock it.
Oh, yes, sir. I'm going.
Go. And he has telekinesis.
Yes. So
I have a ghost with me.
We'll cut to Reverend and Anguson. I love this. This is amazing. As she has these 2 saucers, and she's kind of shaking as she's going to hand them to you. And then all of a sudden, whap, out of nowhere, both of the saucers of tea fall to the ground. And she pulls her hands back. And Mole, as you see that, you see both of the spiders crawl back up into her head.
Oh.
As the Rev has his mage side active, would he see Davis do it?
No, because it cannot see beyond into the twilight.
But
What you would see is the telekinetic push. You saw a power because it's prime. You essentially feel the gravity hit of two hands coming down from the nether and slapping these things out of.
Is it pretty clear on what happened that whatever this entity was not trying to hurt anyone in this room, but was simply trying to be an asshole and slap a bunch of tea onto the ground?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So, then I won't okay.
Would the ghost trigger
sorry. What?
Irene's passive mage sight because she is also Moros?
Well, you would know that. You're a Moros. There's a ghost here.
Yeah, that's her thing.
Yeah. Davis is here.
Ah.
Yeah, you know Davis is. That was totally Davis. You have Death Mage. Yeah, that was totally Davis.
I look to you like.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She's just gonna try to make a nod with her head that it's okay, it's not a big deal, but just go with it was an accident kind of thing.
Miss Avish, don't even worry about it. Go ahead in the kitchen. I'll have this cleaned up in a jiff.
All right, you want me to get you another cup of tea then?
Nope.
Actually, I think we're good without it.
Right.
Nope.
Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I can put another one on the boil. It's really no trouble.
It's all right. It's not my carpet. Then I start cleaning it.
No need to
You're
inconvenience
the
yourself.
one I like. All right, okay. She goes into the back.
I will clean up the mess.
Okay.
Tea and all.
All right. And with that, we will cut to Kali and Jekyll. Because we did a lot there with the Mole Reverend and Anguson. All right. So what was your plan again?
Jekyll is probably gonna do a quick. He's gonna pull out his tarot deck before they leave the clinic as they're closing down, and he's gonna do a quick reading, and he's going to cast Serendipity.
Okay.
Which is Fate 1 rote that he has.
Yeah.
And so let me see here. So
does it need reaches at all?
It has a lot of reaches option. It has a lot of reach options.
I'll take a look at your character sheet.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me see here.
So Serendipity, the spell. Let's just read it out so everyone knows. Man, that's a big spell. Yeah, okay.
It is.
Yeah, wow. The spell grants the mage a monetary glimpse of all the potential roads her destiny may follow. You get to a clear omen that suggests a course of action that will lead you closer to your goal. Seldom guarantees immediate success. With 1 reach, you can roll to achieve the stated goal. May substitute a skill to do it. With 2 reach, you can substitute any skill. Yeah, okay. So it allows you to get bonuses on skills and kind of know where you're going. Copy.
Right. So let's see. I'm probably going to for the skill. I think what I want is I want him to be more perceptive in the mundane sense.
Sure.
And then also a little bit more charismatic.
Interesting. Okay, so you're going to do 2 reaches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to do 2 reaches.
All right. And you get 5 free reaches because it's a route. So you will start with, what is your Gnosis plus Fate?
That'll be 3 total.
3 total. Okay.
Yeah.
And you are using 2 reaches to you do one to make it instant, or are you gonna cast it as a ritual?
How long would the ritual take? Like an hour?
What does it say? What's its
it's I forget. Let's see here.
3 hours.
3 hours. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna cast it as an instant. So that's
okay, so 1 reach to make it instant. Now, how long does it normally last?
I believe, according to this, 135. I believe it's only 1.
Well, here's the thing: you have to spend to make it go longer, right?
All
so you would have to go. I'm going to make it advanced duration. I want it to last a scene, right?
Okay.
Which is a first, second, third. That is your 4th reach.
Right.
Right, because you are making it. You are spending 2 to get 2 extra dice pools. You're spending 1 to make it instant, and you are spending 1 to change it from standard duration to advanced duration, 1 scene or hour. Right.
Right.
So you still have 1 free reach left if you so choose.
Let me see.
I want you to use like 4 so I can roll some fucking paradox dice.
Do you want me to, Thrak? I can.
No,
I will indulge you.
Do what you feel. I say do what you feel.
I will say I definitely wanted to last at least through the scene until we get all the way to the boarding house.
Okay, we can call that one scene.
Okay.
You only want to yourself, and you only so you only want to affect yourself. So you get 3 dice plus. You're using a tool.
Yes,
so
I'm
that's
using my tarot deck.
That is 1 extra die. What is your total gnosis? 2?
2.
And I assume you're going to be using some sort of skill in this?
Yeah, I'm going to be using academics.
All right, so that's an extra die. So that's 5 total dice.
5 total dice.
And
all
I
right.
have no additional negatives that I can give you. It makes me someday one of you is going to be like, I want this to affect a city block. I'm like, sweet, I'm going to roll some paradox dice.
So I need a total of 5 dice then,
You
right?
need 5 dice.
Okay, so that's a modifier 2.
Yard. 1 success.
1 success.
1 success is all you need. So the success on this allows you to get a number of dice equal to what?
That's just a...
roll to achieve a stated goal may substitute any skill. Oh, you can substitute. Okay, it's a substitute. Got you.
Right.
I got you, Boo. And state for me in magical terms your goal. What is your goal?
My goal... I need to find the answers and break through all the doors.
All of them.
Okay, so it's a spell. You're gonna have to be more specific than that.
Right. It's going to have to be... It would have to be any kind of barriers imposed. So he wants to break down the barriers that the boarding house would impose on him.
Interesting. Okay.
Be it by mortals.
Be it by mortals or magic, or just by mortals? What are you saying?
We'll say mortals.
Okay.
We'll do mortals.
Okay, sweet. Be it by mortals. Done. Okay, so you will be able to substitute any skill for 1 time where you can overcome a challenge with the skill of your choice instead of the regular skill. Because as you look forward in time to the world that you're about to try and explore, you see a building. Outside of it is a wrought iron fence. There's 2 small outbuildings, one a carriage house and one a shed. In between them is a playground. This is Harmony House. The school itself is probably 5 stories tall, brick building, multiple rows of windows on every one. You see children playing outside. Well, playing is not the right word. Standing outside, kind of mulling about. As you look down on them, you hear this intense... Not having ever heard a radio, you don't know what static is, but you hear static kind of flooding through your brain. It's almost as if it's filtering out even your own thoughts. There is one gentleman standing out there. He's 5'8", overweight, kind of with a pot belly. He's wearing a black suit jacket with white pinstripes. It is a white suit on top of it. And he's got a simple red tie that he's wearing. What's interesting, though, is he's wearing green sunglasses. And they kind of wrap around to the sides of his eyes. And he's just kind of sitting there with his hands behind his back, smiling as he watches the children go about their play.
Interesting. And oddly enough, I drew I actually did a quick tarot reading for this.
Nice.
So I got the Princess of Pentacles,
Mm-hmm.
King of Cups, and the Star for this reading.
I used to be really good at tarot back in the day.
Right.
Why don't you tell us what that means?
So from judging from what this looks like, it seems to say that there is whatever illusions or opportunity is in front of us, there's going to be some resilience. And from judging from the Star, I want to say where it was placed, that there's something remarkable about this. So
there's absolutely something remarkable about this. Yeah, your
yes,
your
for
reading
sure.
is 100% on point.
Yeah, a little freaky on that one.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Really, it's like Terra was built to be open to interpretation.
this is true. Yeah. Kali,
Yes.
wherever we're going, be watchful. And there's something really ominous about that boarding house. So be on your guard. And for whatever you do, don't be alone with a man wearing a red tie and odd green glasses.
Kali's just gonna sort of quietly nod and look into herself for a moment, just kind of thinking. All right, lead the way.
All right, let's close up the clinic and be on our way.
Awesome. You make your way up north past some of the worst tenements in the neighborhood. St. Bartholomew, which is just north of you. It's interesting. Whitechapel has this just intense dichotomy about it, right? On Whitechapel Road, which is where the clinic kind of sits on the corner of Whitechapel Road and Brady Street, is upper middle class. It's rows of shops. It's people going about what would be considered even today very normal day-to-day business in a city downtown-like area. Move 2 blocks north and tenements begin to loom overhead. Poorly built wooden buildings, rickety, with families stacked on top of families, and the smell of what can only be described as the unwashed masses starts to surround you. As you begin to move up through St. Bartholomew, a train begins pulling in just on the other side of the block. You pass the two cemeteries that are right there. One is for the Jewish community, and one is an almshouse cemetery, which means it is a potter's field. It's where those who do not have the money to be buried anywhere else were buried here. And between the headstones, you can see the train pull in, and it is full of coal. And off to the side, you can see men starting to climb on top of the trains to unload the coal into massive piles on the opposite side of the train tracks from you. Heading further north, you find your way out of St. Bartholomew, across the main set of tracks, and up into St. Andrews, a relatively lower middle class neighborhood. You make a right onto Clark Street, and then there you see where on this street, and I will ping it for you all who can see the map in game, and for those of you who can't see the map, this is a diagonal or a triangle block. Taking up the primary foot of this triangle block is the grounds of Harmony House, a 4-story brick building with a small greenhouse on top, a carriage house, and what looks to be a gardening shed. The grounds themselves are relatively well kept, with chest-high bushes up against blackened wrought iron steel that reaches up about 10 feet, making up the fencing. On the opposite side of the building from where you are, on the opposite side of the fenced-in compound, for lack of a better term, the courtyard, is a large double-hinged gate that rises up higher than the rest of the house itself. Here there is I think I wrote an inscription here. Did I? Yes. It just says, and painted in gold in the inscription over the arch is harmony to those harmony to those who enter. Out in the courtyard, you see 30 young boys standing around, and there, leaning against the entrance, smoking on a pipe. There is a kind of a double glass doors that open into Harmony House itself. They're closed right now, and they're curtained with white curtains. But leaning up against one of those doors is this man I described earlier, smoking a pipe, with the green sunglasses that are almost opaque. You can't even really see his eyes through them. And he's just leaning back, smiling. As you approach, one last thing I want to give you, because you're mages and you have all the sights in the world, as you approach, you get the taste of ash. And you feel this static. It's very low level all around you.
That's a wee bit uncomfortable, to say the least.
Yes, this is... I think we're in the right place.
Seems like it. Is that man you were talking about over there?
Yes. Yes, it was. And of course, he's there in front of the doors. Well, we could either stand around or we can look around. What do you think is best?
I think I'd like to see if I could get a better read on this man, if you don't mind.
I don't. Take your time.
I would like to go ahead and use supernal vision.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Basically try to get a read on this guy, see, what's going on here a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So this is a spell. Yay! All right.
Yeah.
So we start with this. It is a Gnosis 3 Prime 1 spell. How much Prime do you have?
1.
You have 1 Prime. All right. So
Yeah.
you have Gnosis 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you start with a 4-die pool. It is normally ritually cast. Would you like it to be instant?
I think that would probably be best in this scenario.
And then
the longer we stand here, yeah.
Yeah. So we remove a die. We spend a reach. I'm sorry. We don't remove a die. We spend a reach. You have, as this is a rote, you have 5 free reach to spend. How long would you like this to last?
I think I want it to be instantaneous simply because the longer we linger, the more attention we're going to bring to ourselves, just kind of staring at this guy.
Yeah, for sure. So 1 turn. Duration 1 turn.
Mm-hmm.
So no reach for that. Do you want to no. Do you want to are you only looking at him, or do you want to look at more subjects?
I think I want to take a look at the kids too.
Okay.
Or at least 1 or 2 of them.
For sure. So let's say 4 subjects. So that would be a scale 7. Which would actually remove 4 dice from your pool, which puts you at 0 dice, but fear not. All right. Because you will be getting more dice in a second. Actually, the better way to do that is to spend a reach, because we're all still learning here, to spend a reach, this will be your second reach, to increase the scale to 5 subjects per success.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the way better way to do it. And that way you can look at 4 plus 1. So we have spent your second reach. And then you get bonus dice. Those bonus dice will equal your Gnosis as long as you can give me a compelling reason for whatever skill you want to use.
Mm-hmm. 1 second here.
So this would be your rote spell for the your rote skill for the spell.
So where would I want to be looking?
So if you had noted down a rote skill, it would be under the thing itself, and not all of them immediately have one. But what skill would you use to cast this? Like what skill, what training would you have had that would help you pierce the supernal veil and look into the mystical truth of things?
Mm-hmm. I almost want to say occult, but
I think a call makes sense.
yeah.
Okay. So that'll be 1 extra die, making you at 5 dice. Do you use a tool? Do you have any sort of tool you'll be using when casting this?
I do have my amputation knife. I think I'm going to go ahead and use it.
Just cut off a digit.
Well, I was going to say prick a finger.
Sure. Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense.
Prick a finger, kind of draw a small symbol on my forehead. You know, keep my hair brushed over it so nobody notices. And, yeah.
I love that. I want you to, this would be a sacrament yantra because you are pricking yourself and drawing something with it, and I think that's fucking sweet and really awesome that you're using essentially blood magic, which will give you 2 extra dice, meaning you have a total of 7 dice to cast this spell.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so go ahead and just hit the roll and then add dice till it equals 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do it.
Which I think you start at 4, so you'll be adding 3 dice.
Can I just click the dice on the spell and then add?
Yeah, that's exactly how you do it.
And 4, you said add 4 or 3?
What is your base dice pool for?
Yes.
Because it's gnosis, you have a 3 gnosis and 1
Yes,
in
and 1 in
yeah.
prime, so that'd be 4, so
4.
3.
Yeah,
Half?
and then so you are then you add 3 for bonus dice. Indeed, so 7 total. 1 success is enough. As you look at him, do you have dots in life?
I do.
Okay, so I'm going to say this activates your mage vision as well. A couple of things become readily apparent. First of all, his eyes have no pigment. They are clear behind there. They're not white. They are clear. You can see through the glasses, and there are 2 gelatinous orbs with nothing between you and the flesh that's behind there in the ocular socket. Second, this person has apparently had their man bits removed and smoothed over to a complete no scars, as if it was never there. Kendall. Finally, as you look at this sleepwalker, who realizes that you're casting magic on him, his head snaps over and he looks directly at you. What do you do?
Oh, boy. I am going to just sort of look to my side there and carefully, casually shrug and be like, I think we might need to take a walk there. Get some distance.
Jekyll nods and starts kind of putting himself between her and whatever that is.
So we're making our way away, is what's happening.
Yeah, we're just gonna casually walk away.
Very
Nothing
casual. Yeah, very casual.
Fly casual, it's fine.
Yes. He looks at you, he fucking knows what's up, and you just... Nope.
Totally wasn't me. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Totally wasn't, totally wasn't somebody with, like a clear, like, blood mark on their forehead.
Yeah, he was like, ah!
Totally covered my bangs here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. No, nobody sees nothing.
He's standing up there smoking his pipe like, I fucking see you. What are you doing? Oh, shit, fuck, shit.
Well, we found out some information, team. Well done.
Blood magic, the real reason women keep bangs.
Oh, Nelly.
This is going to be a great chronicle. I'm so excited. Okay. So you head off. Are you heading where to? Are you heading back?
We're gonna try to fake it and make it look like as if, oh yeah, we were totally just taking a break here, looking and admiring the building, and now we're continuing our path.
You're gonna
Yeah, we
try
were
and...
totally just checking out the building.
Yeah. So why don't
We
both
always
of
use
you
magic to look at things on our walk.
make subterfuge plus dexterity rolls to walk casual?
Ooh.
So at this case, Throg, I am going to use the serendipity, and I'm going to add my persuasion into this.
I like it. I am very persuasively walking away from you in a nonchalant way. It's happening.
They believe me.
It's like, yo, buddy, hey, nice building there. All right, we're moving.
All right, let's see it.
Okay.
You said dexterity and subterfuge, right?
I did.
And I'm going to
Alright.
spend a willpower.
Sure, add 3 dice to the roll. Would you also like to spend a willpower, Kali?
I think that would be the smart move there.
Yes. Oh, everybody take an arcane beat, and for your blatant use of magic in front of one of the bad guys. Congratulations, you found your first bad guy. Take a second arcane. Yeah.
Hey guys, the bad guy.
The guy with the,
talking jelly eyes.
Yeah.
Kali, take a
jelly
second
eyes.
arcane beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, you mean?
Oh!
You mean Miss Havish isn't our final boss?
I didn't say that. You have to go through the sub bosses first.
He's
No,
a
but you
spider
didn't see my
nest.
dice rolls
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
Oh.
You guys are the
Oh,
least
no.
smooth things to ever smooth. There's whatever
There
smooth
goes the
is,
whole plot just out
and
the
then there's
window.
you two.
You guys, there is something where you can earn a beat by turning a regular failure
Yeah.
Into a dramatic
I'm
failure.
gonna do it.
All
I'm
right.
gonna do it. Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that, Undead K? Okay,
Yep.
we're turning it. We're doing it. We're doing it.
All
Oh,
right.
subtlety continues.
So earn a beat, Jekyll, and as you begin to walk away, you hear the gates open. The big
Oh,
wrought iron
lovely.
gates. And someone is following you. It's not that guy. It looks like Withers. You know who I mean? Like old, sort of like groundskeeper guy. He's kind of following after you. He's trying to be subtle, but you're mages and you know someone's following you.
Do you think we can lose him?
I should hope so.
Let's try to turn in the next corner.
How would you like to try and lose him?
Oh. All right, I think I might have to improvise something here.
I do love creative thaumaturgy.
Might have to improvise. Because I have space, but I don't.
Paradox.
Yes, Throg. I'm giving you what you want.
Tell me what I want, what I really, really want. I want a dox. I want a dox. I want a paradox.
Also, Nimbus. I think we've been forgetting about Nimbuses.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
lot to remember. We will work things in as time goes on.
Yeah.
Today, let's focus on the spell casting because you guys are slinging, by the way, using way more spells than I thought you did, and I thought you would. And no, I love it because I'm really worried they're going to be afraid to use their magics. And nope.
We're wizards.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, Throg, this is how I used to play Mage. I don't restrict myself to casting spells ever.
Excellent. All right, how are we going to get how are we going to get creative on that thaumaturgy?
I am going to use isolation,
Okay.
which is space 1.
Yes.
Boundaries and barriers are a lie, and I can basically make the perception of distance and space around a subject twist and warp. So I am going to basically create this concept that we are further away than we really are.
So you're doing it on
And-
him.
Yeah, you're doing it on. I'm doing it on him.
Excellent. How long
And
would you
I'm
like? Okay.
and I'm also going to be drawing directly from my deck to do the interpretive draw
Excellent.
from the Cartomancer merit.
Okay, so here's what we do. That is space 1,
Yes, that is space 1.
and how many dots in space do you have?
1.
All right, you get 2 free reach. Your first reach is going to be used, I would imagine, to make it instant.
Yes.
Okay. Your second reach, I would imagine, is to make it line of sight as opposed to touch.
Yes.
Okay, so from here, you have to spend reach in order to do most everything else, which will be exciting for me.
Yes, you get to roll
Alright.
paradox.
Excellent. Okay, so we start with a base casting pool of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to make it last more? How long would you like it to last?
I just want him to really just lose us. So if we make it so that the distance is so far out of reach, I want to say, I want to go for a turn.
So you think he's going to get lost in 1 turn? I'm just asking.
Well, I'm thinking like, okay, so how busy is the street, just out of curiosity?
You are not on a main road. You're back in like residential. It's the middle of the day, so people are off at work. It's relatively quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, then no, it's going to need a whole scene to get us lost for sure.
Paradox dice number 1. Excellent.
Yeah. I'm making your dreams come true.
All right. Okay, cool. So it's going to last a scene, and I'm not trying to push you towards that, but like logically, right?
Yeah,
like,
logically.
Yeah. Okay. So you only need to do 1 subject. That's not a big deal. But in terms of standard duration, advanced duration, standard scale, advanced
What about
scale,
potency?
Potency is your spell factors, correct?
Yeah.
Let us look. So if you want to make it withstand dispelling, which is what potency does, you can take an extra paradox reach to make it a harder spell.
Yeah,
to dispel.
I do.
Love it.
I don't know if he's a sleepwalker or not, and I'd rather he not.
Yeah.
A harder time resisting.
Super better safe than sorry. Love it. And then anything else we've got that might be useful for you? Potency, duration, we got that. Scale, 1 guy is fine. Casting time, instant, range, sensory. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so right. Here's spend a mana.
Right. Okay, so I spend a mana. Do I get to use the instinctive draw part of my Cartomancer merit?
I believe so.
Okay, so hold on. Let me spend a mana. So normally it would be a dice roll, but since we're doing directly from the deck, it's going to be an interpretive draw. So it's going to be based on whatever you decide.
While dancing.
Well, yeah. So I'm going to be what is really going to look like is I'm going to draw the card from my vest, and I'm going to be reciting the chant in high speech.
Excellent.
And so the card we receive is the High Priest, Guthrock.
I love that it's the High Priest.
I thought it was kind of humorous, and I shuffled this too. So
fascinating. Okay, so
how would you like to determine that, Throck?
So what is the merit actually do?
So the merit on a success. Okay, so on a dramatic failure, the wrong choice has been given, and the player rolls a chance die. And a dramatic failure of this roll is treated as a havoc paradox. On a failure, the spell isn't the best choice, but it might work, applying a -2 to the casting attempt.
Okay.
A success is a +2 to the casting attempt.
How do I determine whether it's a failure or not?
It's your interpretation of it. Throck. How do you think it works?
I mean, so to me, in this instance, the High Priest is the person who is the shepherd of that flock that you are running away from, right? So to me, that feels like a dramatic failure.
Okay.
Just because, like, if you interpret it like in the scene, right? You have come across this flock of children, who is being overseen by someone, right? And they obviously have some sort of magic mind whammy happening. And then you've drawn the mystical boss, right?
Right. So it's telling me I should go back.
No, it's telling you that there are stronger things at work here than you immediately realized.
Oh.
That there is a hidden layer beyond even what you're seeing with the guy in the glasses. And that thing is reaching for you right now.
Okay. So this would be treated as a dramatic failure.
I think. Does that feel unfair?
No, that makes sense. It's coming for us.
Yeah.
Well, we'll roll for the chance die then, Throg.
Go for the chance die. Okay.
So how do I roll chance? Oh, here it is. Chance
Yeah.
road, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. All right, Kaylee, we're gonna see how this goes. All right, so 0 modifiers. Oh my god.
0 successes. Nice.
Oh wait, why did it choose persuasion and dexterity?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Roll a d10. Just go /r space 1
You have
d10.
to unclick them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if you didn't unclick them.
That's probably why. Sorry.
Also true. It succeeded, right? That's a success?
Yes, that's a
That's-
10.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, I still get to roll my paradox dice. You can't
Mhm.
take that away from me.
No.
However, you don't have much truck with the abyss.
Right.
As you reach out in this neighborhood to try and stretch space, for a moment your mind goes empty. And you find yourself floating through infinite nothing. A hollow scream from somewhere. A flash of green light from somewhere else. In it, a shadow. Was it a tentacle? Was it a snake? It's hard to tell. But for that moment, your mind is as if nothing. But you find the willpower to be able to snap back out of it, and you reach out into the realm of the space arcana itself, pushing the world out around you, making it more confusing for this guy who's following you, touching his mind through the static and through the abyss. You are able to confuse him, make him feel like you're farther away, like you turned left when you should have turned right, and washed away the rain. Sorry, I had to do it because it was in chat. And you find that you've touched the abyss for the first time. Truly touched it. And something from there has manifested here. And now I get to roll my paradox dice.
You do.
And then
Oh boy, paradox.
The jelly eyes? Jelly eyes
I
did
got
it?
a success! Okay,
wait, a success is bad.
Oh,
for us.
oh,
Yes, that's really bad.
I got a success!
oh,
Okay.
Oh
fun.
darn it.
Yay!
Are you
Yay!
telling me something's crawling out of an abyss? Is that
Oh
what's
no,
going
no.
on right now?
Something from the abyss is potentially here.
Well, that doesn't sound good.
It's bad.
It's pretty bad.
It seems
It's pretty
bad,
bad.
Actually,
but
I
it
got
sounds
one
like
extra
bad.
die. /r 1d10. I got 2
Uh-oh.
successes!
Uh-oh.
No, it's okay, guys. Just me, Abyssal Johns.
All right,
No,
so
we get to
you
I
have
get to suffer paradox now, so this is the fun part.
2 options for paradox. You can contain the paradox or release the paradox. If you release the paradox, I get to change things in the world around you. I get to essentially add paradox reaches to your spell. Right?
Contain that shit.
Or you
What
can
do you-
contain the paradox. If you choose to do that, you contest the paradox by rolling your wisdom dots as a dice pool, needing 2 successes. This may not be modified by willpower, magic, or other means. Each success on the wisdom roll cancels 1 success on the paradox roll. Each paradox success canceled out in this way deals 1 resistant bashing wound to the mage. If the paradox roll still succeeds, the spell is not penalized and does not create an anomaly as with released paradoxes. Instead, the character gains a paradox condition, the severity of which is based on the remaining successes.
Okay.
So, would you like to contain it or unleash it?
I will. Jekyll would try to contain it.
Excellent.
So I have. What is
So
it?
you're going to roll your
7?
wisdom.
All right. I think it's just going to be slash, right? Because I don't see
just
anything.
/R, whatever, it's fine.
7d10.
Well, okay. You swallow it. Take 2 resistant bashing damage.
Okay, so I take 2 bashing damage. All
Yes, as your nose starts to bleed.
I'm sorry, just had to swallow a bit of the abyss.
It's-
I'm good.
It's fine.
The opposite of magic.
It's okay.
Just had to suppress the gaping void inside my heart. That's all. We're good.
In every other way, the spell goes off.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
After we get away, after Jekyll feels that we've gotten away, Jekyll aggressively grabs Kali's shoulder. We're in trouble.
I believe so.
No. Much worse than that. There's something here in that boarding house. And that, whatever that was in front of those doors, was definitely nothing more but just the doorman.
I think for now we need to go back.
We need everyone.
That's his bad guy name the rest of the game. The doorman.
The doorman.
The doorman. Yeah, I like that. There's something profoundly dangerous here.
Asshole.
And whatever it is most certainly related to whatever epidemic might be spreading here. Those children did not look right.
Oh, I forgot, Kali, you also got to look at the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yes.
I did.
So as you
Sorry
look
for
at
my
them,
paradox fun.
yeah. No, I totally dropped the ball on that, and that's on me. I'm sorry.
Those kids don't look right.
Those kids don't look right. No, there's like waves of gray coming off of them as you look at them, and you see ash on the ground surrounding this place. And we're just gonna re-roll this back and give you that because I'm an ass and I forgot. Each and every one of them, they're not sleepwalkers. They're not humans who haven't awakened but can see magic. They're like magic eaters. Like there's something about them that you believe is anti-magic. Not that it could stop a spell, but like it eats talent. It eats innovation. It eats wisdom. It eats creativeness. And as you peer deeper through these four children, thousands of small spiders crawl through the inside of their brains. In the area between the skull itself and where the brain is, I can't remember what it's called because I'm not a doctor. They each play host to thousands just crawling around. Sometimes you'll see one of them go up to another one and put his mouth like on his shoulder or his like lip, and it's not like it's like right. And for a moment, the other one shudders, and you see a spider transfer to it.
Yeah, I remember fighting Nemesis. Fuck that guy.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Why couldn't it have been butterflies?
it's never butterflies.
Never. Always spiders.
It would also be horrifying if it were butterflies.
Yeah, that's pretty scary, actually.
That's actually true. Yeah, that would be freaking out.
Yeah.
But on
Butterflies
that-
are attracted to blood. Fun fact. They do drink blood because of the sugars.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
All right. Well, next parasite's gonna be butterflies.
Or, you know.
Let's do this.
Swarm of sentient butterflies. Here we go.
Yeah. Kali and Jekyll, you, having had an eventful time, each of you gain an additional arcane beat for all of that insanity. Make your way back to the St. Bridget's safely at this point. And so we cut back to Reverend and Agason, who are inside the building, and Mole, who is outside. Inside Miss Havish's house.
Now the boy's not here, correct? Because it's not the weekend.
No, the boy is not here. Yes, he went back to school yesterday.
All right. You want to reconvene with Mo outside?
Just a moment. Angoson wants to try something. Just to see.
More trying things.
It might not do anything, but she's got soul marks.
Yes.
And so she wants to cast soul marks and see if this is affecting the soul or not.
Let's cast away.
Okay. So
All
my
right.
first, it's a rogue. So do I have to do anything like?
So here's what we'll do.
Dice, or do I have to just like roll?
So so the basic things is, do you want to make it instant, and do you want to affect someone not by touching them?
Okay. It does say it's an instant.
They should all. None of them should start as instant. They should
Oh.
all start as extended. That is all spells based. And I'm in here anyway, so I'll just go boop boop boop. All spells base start as extended. And then need to become instant by spending a rage. So this is Death, which you have 3, and it is a rote. So you have 5 free reaches. So you're probably going to be able to just pull this off super simple. You start with 6 dice.
Okay.
You probably don't want to touch her, I imagine.
No.
And do you want to make it happen right now?
Yes. Instant, just her because she's the only one there.
Yeah.
And without having to touch her.
All right, so that's it. Those are your 2 reaches I think you need, unless you want more subjects or a larger area or longer duration. But I don't think you need any of that for this spell.
Yeah, it's really just taking a look at a single person.
Okay, yeah. So what you will do, interestingly, if I've read Paradox right, there is one person here viewing this who is not a mage, and so I do get to roll 1 Paradox die. So the one thing I missed from the first couple of rolls is that if there are any people around who don't do magic, you roll 1 Paradox die.
Can I distract Miss Havish to forego that?
If it's instantly cast, you wouldn't know that it's happening until it happens. Right?
Fair enough. Yeah, unless we talked about it before.
Yeah, unless and we'd be like, hey, I'm gonna cast. I mean, if you want to try, you should. But she's in the kitchen right now. You can kind of see her leaning over a sink, kind of washing some dish.
Would she even be able to see me cast it then, or does it not matter?
It's not like a witness is to be there when it happens.
Just be there. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even distracting wouldn't necessarily do anything.
Wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, I might be wrong about that, but for tonight, the ruling I have, and I'll go back and read Paradox, but I think if they're around, then you get 1 Paradox die.
Okay.
I think. Or maybe I'm just really excited to use more Paradox. Whatever, it's fine. Okay.
I mean, yes.
It could be a little bit of both, right? So before you roll, to do this properly, this is Death, so you don't have to spend mana. Do you want to... You get 6 dice to start. You also can use skills to bump yourself up to 9 dice. Skills or tools. What would your rote skill be for this? What is the thing that you are trained to do that would allow you to reach out? The reason I ask, by the way, as opposed to just giving you the dice, is because I want you each to flavor your magic. It's supposed to be very personal. So, to start, your basic rote skills for your order are Investigation, Subterfuge, and Occult.
Okay.
So you would use one of those probably.
Yeah. Probably Investigation or Occult. They're both her highest.
Yep. So either one's fine. It'll add 3 dice to the roll, which puts you at 9 dice. I start by rolling 1 Paradox die. And as long as I don't roll an 8, 9, or 10, everything's fine. It's a 7. You're good.
Yay!
Yay! And so you roll 9 dice. Easiest way to do it is click on the red die on your spell and then just go, when it asks for modifier, put in a 3.
Okay.
Thank you all for hanging out with us today. This is an amazing premiere so far. You guys have been keeping chat rocking. We got a ton of follows. We have some bits that have been hanging out. If there were more, I missed them. Wow, 6 dice, no successes.
Wow.
You don't know.
9 dice, no successes.
Yeah, 9 dice,
Miss
no
Havish
successes.
dies.
No single success.
You killed her because of this.
Uh,
That's it. You failed and her heart
3.
stops.
I mean, I guess it's good that we have.
The health of her soul. I don't think that's going to kill her.
You crush her soul inside of her.
I mean, I guess that's why it's good that we have 3 death mages in the party.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can bring her.
And I feel like it's narratively appropriate to say it's almost as if your magic starts to reach out, but is diffused by this weird pull now of static that's starting to surround her.
Okay. So it feels like it got blocked rather than like it just hit a space and just whoosh.
Yes.
Okay.
And it kind of went, yeah.
All right. So yeah, so that'll definitely make her frown. And then at that point she'll look at the Reverend and be like, perhaps we should take our leave.
Miss Avish,
Yes, darling.
I think it would be in your best interest and the best interest of everyone else if you were to maybe not have any guests.
Oh,
Right.
you already got something contagious?
It's better safe than sorry, isn't it?
Oh, I
know?
understand.
It's better safe than sorry.
My daughter brings me dinner on Tuesdays. Is she all right to come over?
Has your daughter come over since you've been feeling ill?
Yes.
I look over to Angus and like,
Maybe not.
All right. Well, I'll send
Maybe
someone
not.
around to tell her.
All right.
All right.
But don't starve, by all means. If you need something, send for me, all right?
I will.
All right.
and
Does your grandson and them not live with you then?
My daughter, she spends 4 nights a week with me, and then on the other, she spends at the workhouse.
Ah.
Yes.
Well, Ms. Avish, we must be going. But we are going to look into this, and I feel that soon you will be feeling bright as rain.
I hope so. Thank you.
Absolutely. God bless you.
God bless
And
you.
we'll make our way out.
All right. All right.
All right.
Making your way out. Mole, you are still around back, or have you come back around front?
I've come around the side, and I could watch them leave because
Yes, indeed you can.
Yep.
spooky wizard eyes.
I will catch up, walking nonchalantly beside them, be like, "Thank God you didn't drink the tea.
Hey, there were spiders in it, wasn't there?
There were spiders in the tea."
Did you knock that over with your telekinesis?
Davis.
Davis did that.
No,
We've talked about this, Reverend.
Not that again.
Yes,
So-
Reverend. Yes.
That's not.
Oi,
That's neither here nor there.
I'm right
So-
here.
He
Do
can't
you
hear
want to all go
Oh, right, I
to?
forgot.
You want to all go to the store or the school?
We should check in.
All right. So, how do we reconvene? How do we communicate? Can we like message each other with our minds?
Welcome to Victorian England. How the crap do you get messages to each other?
Pigeons.
Probably
I sent my trained pigeon that I now have.
Space and Forces, I think, is
Space
probably...
and Forces.
Space and
Street
Forces, yeah.
Street
Yeah.
urchin.
Can you just scream your voice across the city?
It's a loud ass city. People are screaming constantly.
A lot of
Yeah.
pain. All right.
Is there a speedy looking street urchin around?
Well, I guess.
What?
Is it London? Oi, Gov, what can I do for you?
What? Why do you need to? No, let's just go back.
To the hospital. All right.
Never mind.
Were you able to learn anything, Mo?
That she is not a single spider, but she's
Yes.
many. Oh, and did I get the triangulation I was looking for?
Yes. It absolutely goes back to Harmony House.
She is connected to something in the Harmony House.
From what I got, it's them little spiders are
Yes.
not the real problem. There's something that's telling them what to do. So that connection is vital because
Yes.
whatever's back at that house is telling these things what to do.
Yes.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Making your way back north, you cross Whitechapel Road and make it to St. Bridget's Clinic at a narratively appropriately exactly the same time as Kali and Jekyll. They look harried and haggard. Jekyll's got some blood kind of dried on his nose that he hasn't got all cleaned off yet. It's yeah.
I give him a hanky. We all have hankies, right? This is the
Yes.
Of course you have hankies.
You all right?
Did you touch anyone?
No,
Ugh.
but something almost touched us.
Let's speak inside.
Yes, quite. I'm gonna need my medicine.
We go inside.
So,
You go inside.
what did you all see?
First, medicine, and Jekyll walks all the way up to his office.
Well,
So, what did you see?
Let me tell you, at times like these, I wish I had a good Irish whiskey on me.
Jekyll comes down. I got bourbon.
I'll take it.
Has 2 glasses in his hand. Pours both. Hands one to Kali. Take your medicine.
rude.
Thank you. So, we checked the Harmony Harmony School?
Harmony House.
Harmony House. Words.
Right.
And
Well, the children were all just standing around, and I looked further. Bunch of spiders crawling through the space between their skulls and their brains.
sounds about right.
Thousands of them.
That's more right than I would have hoped.
There's
That's
more.
where the infestation will be then.
Oh, much worse than that.
What
It's
do you
not
mean?
just an infestation. There's something here. There's something there. Something big and massive and powerful.
They have a sleepwalker at the door.
Charming fellow.
Not good.
Clear eyes.
Ugh.
Man bits. Smoothed out.
Oh.
Might have noticed us a little.
Yes, well, we had to evade a pursuer narrowly. Hence, whatever is there, it's not good, and we will need to have all the preparations needed against it.
But it's wise to you now, yeah?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Whatever it is, it's controlling them little spiders. And the more people that go see Miss Avish, and the more people that, well, her daughter already probably has it. Who knows where those other kids is going? If Miss Avish got it from a grandson, then it could be all over the city by now.
They're still
Yeah.
connected. It's not like they're individual spiders. The spiders are more like limbs, I think,
Mm-hmm.
metaphorically, reaching back from a central host. And if you kill the brain, maybe if we are fortunate, it will kill the host or kill the infestation.
That's a very optimistic prognosis.
Well, what is our other option?
True.
So, should we go to the school then? Root out whatever big bug this is and squash it.
Yes. But again, we need to make sure we're all prepared.
All right.
Not just something to be taken lightly.
Do you think we could consult the library?
We can certainly take a look and see what might be available. I'm not familiar with anything like this before, but that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't something in the books that could help us.
I will pray for guidance.
Okay.
You're
I
welcome.
Yes, thank you.
I will also peruse the library. There has to be something similar.
All right.
Was there something deeper than the man?
We never got through the door.
How well
And I-
fortified is the place?
There's a gate. And there's our lovely doorman, the sleepwalker. But whatever's lurking inside there, it definitely is quite dangerous.
Well, we can't do anything in there with the children there. We've got to make sure that all the children is gone.
We can't do that without risking spreading the infection.
I think the infection's probably already spread.
Yes, but if you spread those children now, you're guaranteeing it. And it knows we're onto it. It might do that already. We can't stop for those children. We must avoid them.
Well, we can't very well go in there and fight some big great beast with children all about. That's terrible.
Yes.
Well, one of them gets hurt.
That would be quite unfortunate. I mean, they
No,
already
it's unacceptable. It's not unfortunate. It's not going to happen, is what it is.
And I think another risk we need to look at is how much control these spiders have over their hosts they've taken.
Mm.
I, for one, do not want to get in a fight with a large group of small children.
Agreed.
All right. So then, what's the plan then? Library. Look up what this thing might be, and then go to the school and destroy it.
No, don't destroy the school.
No, destroy whatever's in there.
Destroy it, banish it, whatever it takes.
I prefer to banish it if we could. Well, perhaps we can talk to it. Maybe it wants something.
Yes.
You can't. You're the ST. You can't laugh. You can't laugh at my plans.
That wasn't telling.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard God.
That was so foretelling of our fate.
I mean, if we bring tea,
Crumpets.
Maybe the demon won't want to eat the children's hearts. Maybe he just won't want to.
I'm trying to stay quiet and not help with conclusions. But you wanted to say, maybe we'll talk to the evil thing that Jekyll just found. I had to snort.
All I'm saying is that if there is a chance that we can do this without violence, we should pursue that.
I don't even know how to begin approaching discussions with such a creature.
Oh, like, hey, what do you want?
Well, obviously it wants to spread.
Well, stop that. We don't want that. You gotta knock that off. You're being naughty. It's not all right. There you go.
We can try.
I mean, you never know,
I mean,
When
sometimes
it comes down to it, we knock its ass right into another dimension.
that's the part I like, yes.
Yes, all right.
now see, that sounds more like you.
It may well come to that, but you think knowledge is certainly our first bet.
Yeah, let's be smart. Professionally.
If we can find out something about it, it could give us a better idea of how to confront it, whether it's a good idea to keep the children out of the way, risk going in with them.
If the children are still
alive.
alive.
Even destroying it will kill.
If it controls the children, it's going to use them as shields. That's why I'm saying to get rid of it. I mean, you think, duh, it's going to bring all the children in because it'll probably be like, I bet you won't hurt these kids.
Well, I can probably manage some kind of glamour.
If I could just say something for a moment, I'm not certain words. If the children are necessarily being controlled, it almost felt like fed.
Like they're being fed on.
Like a farm.
Callie just nods.
Take a beat, Callie.
Huh?
Take a beat.
Take a beat. Okay, cool.
So, like, the children are food source. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. All right. So whatever this thing is a huge parasite.
And it's less likely to kill the children in that case.
It drains its hosts of energy. And it's spiders. It's a bunch of fucking spiders.
It's a bunch of limbs that look like spiders.
Yeah, they were spiders. They were spiders.
Kali's just nodding at this point. Yep, nope, spiders.
Definitely spiders.
If that's simplistic enough for you, yes.
Yeah, spirits, ghost spiders, whatever you want to call it. I
They're
know
not
you're
ghost
into that.
spiders.
Well, everything's a ghost to you, so I'm figuring, you probably just call them a ghost spider. That's fine.
No, ghosts are ghosts to us.
Yeah, of course they are. All right, well, look.
Go talk to your
Read your
big sky
books.
ghost. We'll go look at some books.
Read your books. I'm going to go pray, and we will figure this out. We will save these children. And I'm going to retire to my chamber to read.
And that seems like a perfect place to end for the evening.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's time.
Yeah, we are almost at 11:30, which is when we generally end, and we had a bit of a technical issue at the beginning of the game. But thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight. This has been an amazing first game, and I love all of these players so much. So first, everybody gets 1 XP to start, one full experience point. So mark that down. And then you all got beats for stuff. For this, I want to do a thing kind of like what Zed does with the vampire games, where if you think, as we go through, and if you think there's someone deserving of a beat, you should shout them out for it. Because beats are the way you get experience in this, and I want it to be character-driven as much as it is me-driven in terms of getting experience. So you tell me what you think. But okay, so let's go around and do a debrief real quick. I just wanted to say, Devil's Luck hit a little bit of something on the head with where my influences come from. My big influences when I tell Mage are the Invisibles, the books of magic comic book, Hellblazer comic book, and Doctor Strange. Those to
Good
me
stuff.
kind of like consolidate the way that I think about Mage, and like especially Invisibles for Cabal dynamics. There's a bunch of stuff in there that if you've never read them, you really should, but don't until we finish this arc, because it's possible I crib some stuff from it, because it's a 20-year-old comic book that like nobody has reads right now, so hopefully none of you have read that arc. Anyways, let's go around and get thoughts from everyone, how they felt about their first Mage session, and if you want to nominate somebody for a beat. We will go in reverse order from the way we started, starting with Death by Mage.
Hi, everybody. Oh, man, that was a game. Whew. I haven't faced Paradox in the first session. The way I start any Mage game. This was a great game. This was great playing with everyone. I think the one I really want to give the nomination to is definitely Kevin for doing the ultra triangulation. Just that description was just fantastic. Now I just imagine Mole as like as an underground GPS, just like.
And what's Jekyll's path in order?
My path is I am Mastigos, and my order is Mysterium.
Indeed. But you have some stuff to shout out too, right? Mole, take a beat.
For me, yes, that's right. I have a lot of things to talk about. For example, we have Artifacts of the Guild on the DM's Guild that is on sale right now. It is 260 magic items for your D&D 5e campaign that you can now add to your loot tables. And we also have Villains and Layers 2. So if you need new villains and new layers for your D&D campaign, please check that out. Also on the DM's Guild. And also my best-selling Journey into the Feywild is doing very well on the DM's Guild. So please check that out.
He's kind of famous.
I'm not that famous.
Okay, he's not that famous, but he's kind of... You're famous in my heart. You're famous here.
Aw.
Yeah.
You're not unknown.
Yeah. You're an unknown. You're an unknown. No. You're what we know, but anyways. Bohemian Goth, who I keep wanting to say your actual name, but then I always kind of get gun shy because we're on the interwebs, and so I will allow you to say it.
That's all right. I'm not too. I don't mind if you shout out my first name. But Yeah, Angosin is Moros, Guardians of the Veil, although she leans more towards a detective aspect than a lock it up tight kind of aspect. Oh god, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. It's the first time I've really gotten to play Mage, so this was great. And the failure of a 9 dice battle.
Yeah, sometimes you're just gonna fail a 9 dice pool.
Best dice pool the whole game.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Not a sausage. Yeah.
I feel you. That's that walking away roll for me and Undead K.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But then you got a 10 on the luck die. You're good. Yeah.
Meant to be.
As far as a beat, I also would nominate Kevin for that, but I would nominate it for the excellent use of protecting his fellow Cabal mates with Davis. No, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was super thinking on your feet. I loved it. Cool. I gave you a beat already, so you're not going to get a second beat. Enough of that. No. Cool. Anything else? We can find you at Bohemian Goth on the tweeters. Is that right?
Yes, at Bohemian Goth.
Excellent. And are you on anything else?
Instagram. Pretty much. Yeah, not too much. But working on it.
Well, we love having you here, and that's all that really matters.
Very happy to be here.
Me too. I'm happy you're here. Yay. I am feeling very awkward and tired right now. I'm sorry. Fine. Evan.
Yes, hello. I am Evan Jennings, 64 on Twitter. I'm Zombie Love Juice on Instagram, and we're doing our path and our what is it, order?
Yeah, path and order.
I am playing the Reverend, who is an Obramos of the Adamantine Arrow, which are basically essentially the ass whoopers of the new world. All mages kind of whoop ass, but they're particularly, that's like their main thing. Yeah. I had a great time. This is good. I've been excited for this because I didn't know how this game was going to go. I love that it is mystery heavy. I'm very excited about that because I feel like that totally makes sense. And definitely I feel the Hellblazer vibe where you're still like a person dealing with weird shit. You just have some cool stuff that you can do, but still like a person. So like if that thing wanted to come and try to eat you, it would still be awful and terrifying. It would
probably eat you. Yeah.
It would probably get you. So I'm loving this. I'm very excited to see what happens next. I'm stoked to see this world. And you guys seem like a lot of fun to play with. I'm excited to see all your characters and what you guys do. I think my nod though would probably go to Death by Mage because not only the whole like paradox thing, but like I love that card thing you keep doing. Reading cards. Yeah, I like that, the tarot thing, and I can tell you really want to use it because you like keep using it, and it's pretty cool. I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Also, did you like see the future with that move? What was that thing you did?
Oh, the serendipity?
Yeah.
I actually did an actual reading. I did a 3-card reading, and funny enough, I let Throck decide whatever he wanted to say, and it fit very well with the reading I already drew.
That's awesome. So, but yeah, I would. My point goes to you.
Take a beat.
And you can find me. I'm also on this Discord, the Welcome to the Party Discord, and I have on YouTube. I have a channel with my friends called. Beyond EMH is the channel on YouTube, and we do D&D stuff. So yeah.
You have an evil party on there, right?
Oh yeah. It's an evil campaign. It's a long-running evil campaign, which is rare because usually they all kill each other.
Yeah.
They are unified in their evil.
Yay.
To a better goal.
Okay.
But yeah, that's about it.
Yay. Okay.
All right. Well, this was a lot of fun. Just walk away casually. Nothing to see here. Totally not wiping some blood off. Nothing. This was my first ever Mage campaign session. It was awesome. Lots of fun. Super looking forward to playing with everyone. I would also like to give shout out to Jekyll because, yeah, he kind of saved our asses there.
I don't know. I kind of risked our lives by imposing.
I mean, but we didn't die.
Yeah,
Not this time.
there's no death.
Take the wins.
No.
It wasn't death of Mage.
No.
Speaking of Moros, Silver Ladder, we got a lot of Moros around here. It's all good.
So much death.
But yeah, you can find me on Twitter at K_undead. I also have a Facebook art page, and it has an Etsy link that desperately needs updated, but don't worry about that. If you go to Facebook and search Creations by Undead K, all one word, you might be able to find me there. So yeah.
Neat.
Nice.
So you're not getting a second beat. You already got a beat, Jekyll. Don't worry about that.
That's fine.
Yeah. And last but not least, Kevin.
Maybe least. So I'm by Sonic Kevin on Twitter, and I'm all over the Discords for Welcome Party and other places. I don't have too much going on to plug. Berlin 66 did get mentioned, right? Okay, good. Just making sure. Yeah. There's. I love this game. This was fantastic. And as much as I love how much the Reverend does not know about ghosts at all, and
They don't exist, so.
I love it.
Yeah.
But I'd have to-
Souls go to heaven or hell, stupid. They don't hang around Earth. Duh. Duh, everybody knows that.
I think I've got to give it to Kay for first of all stabbing an old lady accidentally.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That's
It was
great.
an attempting stabbing. She did have no success.
It
You're a
was
doctor.
but it was still fantastic.
You know, in hindsight, that might have still been a good choice.
I mean, probably. I think that should have just been a hint.
Would have ended the whole quest right there.
Yeah. Oops.
And also for the poking your finger and doing the blood sigil on your head, that was awesome.
Yes.
That was awesome.
That was really cool.
That was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I had a great time.
Take your beat.
Oh, boy. Oh, wait.
And hopefully I'll settle on an accent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, same.
We're all gonna get there. It's gonna be a journey. It's gonna be a journey.
Yep.
I need to try to working on some because she's got like 3 depending on who
she's talking to.
what she is at the time.
But well, we'll reveal other things later, so I can understand my part of why I should have an inconsistent voice.
Where is that?
All right, team. My name is Throck. I've been your storyteller for the evening. You can find me on the tweeters at ThrockPlays. I'm the co-founder here at Welcome to the Party, where we teach people how to stream and give them a place to do it in an inclusive and equitable environment. And so if you want to hang out with us on Discord, you should. None of the chat commands work, so please ignore anyone. Don't hit exclamation. The chatbot's broken. Fix it later. And of course, you can always find us on Patreon. It is our preferred method of support if you want to support us, because from there we are able to use the funds to do things like pay artists for amazing character art or videos or overlays or all that sort of stuff. And yeah, we want to turn into PBS for RPGs, where we underwrite amazing writers and give them a place to showcase their work. And with the amazing outpouring of support we've had tonight, we're going to be able to do that really well. I love you all so much for coming. I want to thank all of our followers. I had them up and then they went away. We got a ton of new followers today. Here we go. Kind of okay, Rally. Thank you for the follow. Nerdlopedia, thank you for the raid. Shogun came in hard with 1,500 bits, and you will still have those advantages for next week. Devil's Luck Gaming, thank you for finally following 6 months later, you dumb bastard. All right, I love you. Spectral Roses, thank you for the follow. Shadina, Kchan323, Glass Spider, and more. That's all Twitch wants to show me for some reason. But I know there were more down there. Thank you all so much for hanging out with tonight. We are going with us tonight. We are going to raid our dear friends at Soulbear RPG, who are doing some D's and D's tonight. Soulbear RPG. So give them all a big welcome to the party love fest as we go and say hello to Welcome Party RPG or to Solar RPG. You will find us next week at 8:30 p.m. for episode 2 of the Wardens of Whitechapel. Everyone wave and say bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Boink. And we're out.